It's Monday, February the 13th, 2017, and this is your Barbados Today afternoon update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news of a temporary reprieve for Central Bank Governor Dr. Delyle Worrell. The embattled chief economist had reportedly been given until the end of today by Finance Minister Chris Sinclair to resign or be removed from the job. However, the governor's attorney, Gregory Nichols, tells Barbados Today that following the granting of a temporary injunction by the High Court last night, the governor will be allowed to stay put at least for another week. Worrell, who has recently been at odds with the government over the printing of money and the need to make further expenditure cuts, is challenging the right of the minister to unceremoniously remove him from office.
We applied to the court by way of an urgent application. It was heard last night. Yesterday evening into last night, before the duty judge, Mr. Justice Randall Worrell, and we sought and obtained an injunction to prevent the Minister of Finance from acting or carrying out his threat to fire the governor of the Central Bank. What I can say is that the minister has indicated to Dr. Worrell that if he didn't resign by today, he would fire him. And we cannot locate any specific power that the minister has within the Central Bank Act to fire a governor summarily.
Meantime, the opposition Barbados Labour Party has wasted no time in commenting on the development. Speaking on radio this morning, BLP economic spokesman Ryan Strawn suggested that the action against the governor was justified. However, he argued that the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance were ultimately the ones who must be held accountable for the current threats to the Barbados economic stability.
This urgent plea, let me put it this way, on behalf of the governor to the minister, and by extension the Prime Minister, because I don't think the Prime Minister should in any way escape his responsibility for what has taken place. But I think at this time, what is being contemplated, whether it is the governor of the Central Bank or the Minister of Finance, in my view, I think what Barbadians have to ask themselves is at what point are we the people going to decide that enough is enough? Because the reality is that for 6 or 7 years at least, we were told that the policies being pursued by the government would take us to safety.
Also, economist Avinash Prasad says there can be no more running away from the need for hard economic decisions to be made.
There is no painless way, sadly, and I wouldn't even say it's a function of if the government were to continue on its path. It's the path it has been on for the past 7 or 8 years that has led to the difficult position we're in. Our deficits have been in the order of 400 million to 700 million every year for the past 7 to 8 years, and we've piled on the debt. So I think even if there was a reverse course at this minute, it would not be enough to deal with the problem we're in. So there are no easy options.
Minister Sinclair is meanwhile meeting an emergency session with the board of the Central Bank this afternoon. Outspoken Minister of Commerce and Trade Donvill Inniss has issued a strong warning to the National Union of Public Workers that government will not be held ransom over having the Barbados Revenue Authority fully operational. Addressing a meeting of custom brokers over the weekend, Inniss was particularly harsh on the leadership of the NUPW for its approach to transitioning the Customs Department into the BRA.
If it means that a few have to be discomforted for the sake of the masses, then let us do what has to be done and do it now. This is no idle threat. This is simply my honest, simple opinion as a cabinet minister, as a member of parliament, as a father, and as a member of this community. This matter with the Barbados Revenue Authority and Customs and Excise Department needs to be settled. It is causing just too much frustration among ordinary Barbadians, not just for the custom officers who may feel disquiet, but for the custom brokers whose livelihood depends on an efficient port system.
Democratic Labour Party candidate for St. George North, Senator Jeppe Inniss, has ruled out unemployment, housing, or the foreign reserves as being any of the key issues that would determine the outcome of the next general elections. Speaking in support of his St. James North Senate colleague Harry Husbands at his branch meeting at the St. Albans Primary School last night, Inniss also predicted that he and the party will win.
And the reason why I'm saying that this Democratic Labour Party, that we are going to win the next election, and confident about it, is that the next election is not going to be about unemployment. It is not going to be about foreign reserves, and I have said this over and over again. It is not going to be about fiscal deficit. It is not going to be about housing. It is going to be who is better able to lead this country. Because as you say it now, the economy is turning around.
More improvements coming to Holetown. Minister of Tourism Richard Seeley told the opening of the Holetown Festival yesterday a new shopping complex will soon be built and the unsightly stream that runs through the town will be enhanced thanks to Massey Group.
And I am delighted to hear that they're not going to leave it there. They're making a substantial investment on the other side of this street, modernizing what was the mall that was once there. I understand it's going to be a fantastic shopping facility. But they are moved by seeing that the stream from which Holetown got its name, you would have heard that from Dr. Watson, the fresh stream that came from the hole, it has unfortunately become a little stagnant and is unpretty, if I have to be charitable. And the Massey Group and Glenn and Frere are moved the same way they were moved by what they saw with the monument. They have been moved to do something about the stream, and I can tell you on behalf of everyone in this community and beyond, all of Barbados, we look forward anxiously to see how that project will unfold.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Get your paper, get your paper. Only $2.25, $2.20. Who? For what? That's Bear Stare News. I don't read about that on Barbados today since last night. That can't only can't do. $2.20. Who?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. There's been a call for the changing of the judging rules for the Road March competition in Trinidad and Tobago. Soca star Kez wants the judging taken out of the hands of the state.
If we talk about Road March and all that thing, I believe that Road March should be changed to the popular song. The song that judges the song on the road. Not judged by the state. Just judged by the road and the people. And what is the favorite song?
While Kes has his own song as a Road March contender, he acknowledged another from the Ultimate Rejects and MX Prime.
It can be any song. And Super Extreme is that song right now. You understand? I have my thing in it too. We ramp it up. But I love it. But after Road March should mean something different.
And this year's soca is featuring a mix of the old and the new.
You think that there's been an uptick in the soca? I believe so. I think it's almost a musical revolution in some ways. It's a reflection of the times we live in. You know, a lot of pressure is being applied, and with that, creativity skyrockets. And I believe the contributions across the board have been amazing. The songs have been great. I enjoy them. I enjoy listening to them and hearing them wherever. And I enjoy our songs this year too.
And finally, on the global front, close to 200,000 people have evacuated from several Northern California counties after damage to a spillway at the Oroville Dam. The dam, which is the nation's tallest, remains intact, but the emergency spillway, which guards against the overflow of the dam when water levels are high, was eroding yesterday. And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper email updates and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media and bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.